The question, how to live a meaningful life within the finite boundaries of time, has long been at the center of philosophy, religion, and the social sciences. Time is the only non-renewable resource, and a human life, whether long or short, is but a finite segment in the infinite flow of the universe. This awareness of finitude has led humanity to ceaselessly search for meaning, establish values, and build various moral and social systems. Western philosophy, since antiquity, has emphasized the brevity of life. Seneca, in On the Shortness of Life, wrote, "It is not that we have a short time, but that we waste a lot of it." Seneca, 2010. Meanwhile, in the 20th century, Heidegger, through his work Being and Time, argued that humans are beings toward death, and only by being conscious of this limit can we live authentically. Heidegger, 2008. In another direction, Viktor Frankl, the founder of logotherapy, emphasized that the search for meaning is the key for humans to overcome the brutality of finitude and suffering. Frankl, 2006. From a psychological perspective, studies on happiness, health, and personal development also affirm that humans cannot avoid brevity but must learn to leverage it to create a full life. Relationships, career, health, creativity, and resilience all contribute to defining a life worth living. In the context of modern society, with pressures from consumerism, digital technology, and global uncertainty, this question becomes even more urgent. So, within the finite boundaries of time, what must one do to create a life of value? 1. The finitude of time, ontology and psychology. The finitude of time is not only a biological reality, that all humans must eventually die, but also an ontological condition. Existential philosophy points out that awareness of death is the starting point for an awareness of life. Heidegger called this state being toward death. According to him, people are often swept up in inauthentic living, letting themselves be dominated by habit, social prejudice, or a false sense of security. Only by daring to confront the truth that their time is limited can people awaken and live authentically. Heidegger, 2008. From a psychological standpoint, the time paradox shows that as children, we feel time passes slowly, but as we get older, it seems to speed up. The reason, according to neuroscientists, is that the brain records time based on new experiences. As we mature, repeated experiences cause the brain to record less information, making time seem to shorten. This is the trap of time blindness, making it easy for people to waste days in meaningless repetition. From these two perspectives, the finitude of time can be seen as both a burden and an opportunity. It forces people to choose, either let time pass unconsciously or use that very limit to live fully. 2. Defining life's values and meaning. A life worth living cannot be without meaning. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, pointed out that those who can find a why to live can endure. How? Frankl, 2006. Meaning is not a gift. It is created through labor, love, and commitment. A person who finds meaning in raising children, contributing to science, or creating art will have a direction for utilizing their finite time. Conversely, a person without guiding values easily falls into a sense of emptiness and meaninglessness, what Camus called the absurd in The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus, 2011. Therefore, the first step to living a life worth living is to ask yourself, what do I live for? 3. Managing time as a finite resource. Time, unlike money or other resources, cannot be saved or regenerated. The psychology of time management, exemplified by Stephen Covey's Matrix, 1989, shows that people often confuse being busy with being effective. A life worth living requires prioritizing important but non-urgent tasks, learning, maintaining health, nurturing relationships, rather than getting caught in a whirlwind of immediate crises or meaningless diversions. From an existential perspective, time management is not just a skill but also an attitude. Living with an awareness of death compels us to act now, rather than procrastinating until a someday that never comes. 4. Building and nurturing human relationships. Sociological studies show that relationships are the most important factor for happiness and health. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest studies on human life, affirmed, "What makes people happiest is not money or fame, but good relationships." Waldinger and Schultz, 2015. Meanwhile, Aristotle, from ancient times, called humans zoon politikon, social animals. No one can live a life worth living in solitude. Strong relationships not only bring joy but also help individuals overcome adversity, create a sense of belonging, and leave a lasting impression. However, in a liquid society, as analyzed by Bauman, 2005, relationships can easily become fragile and fleeting. Therefore, living a life worth living means actively nurturing deep connections rather than accepting the superficiality of the digital age. 5. Health and the body as the foundation of existence. A healthy body is a prerequisite for enjoying life. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, 1946, health is not merely the absence of disease, but a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. In Eastern philosophy, the body and mind are always connected. Buddhism emphasizes that a healthy body combined with an awakened mind helps people escape wasted time in anxiety or delusion. Exercise, balanced nutrition, sufficient sleep, and meditation are practices that help people value and leverage their biological limits. 6. Career, learning, and contribution. A life-giving career is not merely a tool for earning a living but a means for people to realize their full potential. Marx once said that through labor, humans not only create wealth but also create themselves. However, labor becomes alienated when it is merely a tool for making money and loses its creativity and social meaning. Frankl points out that one of the 3 paths to finding meaning is through work. A person who works with a sense of contribution will feel that their time is more valuable. At the same time, lifelong learning is a way to maintain personal development, helping people avoid stagnation, especially in middle age. Erickson, 1997. 7. Creativity and art as a way to transcend finitude. Creativity helps people transcend biological limits. A work of literature, a piece of music, or a scientific invention can exist for centuries after the author's death. Nietzsche once advised, "Man must turn his life into a work of art." Nietzsche, 2005. Creativity does not have to be of a grand scale. It can be present in small acts, cooking, gardening, or writing a diary. Every creative activity is a way for people to affirm their personal mark and turn finitude into permanence in collective memory. 8. Confronting adversity and challenges. A life worth living cannot be without the ability to confront suffering. Frankl emphasized that meaning can be found even in suffering if we attach a reason to it. Frankl, 2006. A person with a terminal illness can choose to live fully in their remaining short time by loving their family or sharing their experiences. Camus, in The Myth of Sisyphus, 2011, also argued that humans need to learn to imagine Sisyphus happy, that is, to find meaning even in an act that seems meaningless and repetitive. This is the spirit of courage in the face of life's absurdity. 9. Challenges in modern society. In the 21st century, people face many new challenges. Consumerism leads many to mistakenly believe that happiness comes from material possessions. Fromm warned that if people focus only on having instead of being, they will lose their spiritual life. Fromm, 1995. Digital technology fragments our time and attention. Sherry Turkle, 2011, suggests that people are alone together, seemingly connected on the outside, yet growing more lonely on the inside. This challenges our ability to build deep relationships. Global uncertainty, from pandemics to climate change, makes finitude more apparent but also easily creates anxiety. To live a life worth living, people need to know how to slow down, be selective, and focus on core values. Living a meaningful life within the finite boundaries of time is not a dream of immortality but learning to live meaningfully in every moment. This includes being conscious of finitude, defining life's values, managing time, nurturing relationships, taking care of health, committing to a career, being creative, confronting adversity, and resisting the alienation of modern society. There is no single formula for everyone, Each person must search, experiment, and create meaning for themselves. As Frankl emphasized, it is not we who ask what the meaning of life is, but life itself that asks us, and we must answer with our own actions. Frankl, 2006. Finitude is no longer a tragedy but becomes a motivation to live fully. And a life worth living is a life in which every moment is lived with consciousness, love, and responsibility. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I wish you all good health, happiness, and every success in life. To give our channel more motivation to grow and bring you more meaningful messages, we truly hope to receive your support. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you find the content helpful. All of your feedback is incredibly valuable, so please leave your comments below. We will listen and strive to improve every day. Thank you very much.